This is an excerpt from an Onit webinar in which Gregg McConnell, Head of Legal Operations at Corteva, spoke about Corteva's experience with PERSUIT. The first voice you'll hear is that of David Falstein, PERSUIT's Head of Client Strategy and Success, where David asks Gregg to talk about his experience.
I'll just kind of pause there and see if, Gregg, I don't know if I missed anything on that, or if you want to kind of talk further to what kind of caused you guys to really consider bringing in PERSUIT in addition to Onit.
Yeah, and when you look at the system, so Onit really gave us the ability to see things, see how things are going, what we're doing, and PERSUIT gave us the ability to drive our costs down and really take advantage of our spend ability. Like, we're spending a lot of money. If we focus here in another area, how do we drive that cost down further? With some of our group, they were a little resistant at first that, hey, we have panel firms, we can't go out and matter bid. But I think once they realized it, yeah, we can. We have firms that overlap, and we really need to drive the true cost of our market. A lot of law firms at times will have people on the bench, and for them, their ability to change their pricing model is a lot more fluent. So with our spin-off, we had fewer risks, we had to reduce our costs, we had to drive efficiency globally, and we needed a flexible approach, is what I would say. And that's really what PERSUIT brought us, was the flexibility when we bid this out, to not just do what we would do for litigation. That's going to be completely different from what we need for an intellectual property team. And that's what we found in that capability, with that practice-specific planning for each of our groups. So we really started with e-discovery. Our head of litigation is extremely supportive of this process. And so that's one of the areas that we drove at first, to really show a business case of how this is going to work. And then another one is, we had great support from our IP teams and our IP leader. But their approach was a little different, because they had to have a regional approach. So we can take a look at a couple of the examples. And David, feel free to jump in anytime if I miss some details on these two business cases.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have one, David, teed up here for you. Might give those listening a deeper look.
Yeah, so when we looked at our e-discovery, our cost was spread quite dramatically when we went out to our first bid, and nearly 40% average price reductions in some of the areas, as you can see on here, and then 30% overall reductions across all the vendors. So just doing this, even with an incumbent, like we had an incumbent in this process that was pretty much giving us the rates that we normally were at. We were able to drive what looks to us to be, based on our annual spend in this space, about $2 million. So this was a huge win for us to just show we can drive cost effectively down. We can get better or more services with it. We can be very detailed about what we need.
Gregg, did you get any feedback from the managing attorney? Because with e-discovery is always kind of it's challenging, right? Because you've got stakeholders, a lot of different stakeholders involved, and there's a lot of complexity from the technology aspects to the document review aspects. So could you take us like a little inside the room? I mean, what was was the feedback positive in terms of I guess whether this was going to be something that we could simplify, or was it kind of still a painful process? Yeah,
and I will say, kudos to our PERSUIT team for really helping our attorneys walk us through this process. We've got some initiatives at Corteva where we focus on how we can drive at a very high level savings into the organization, and we're tracked on it and we're driving to it. And this was one of those initiatives that managing litigation person took over and ran with. And our PERSUIT team enabled us to take the timeline down considerably. They thought this would take 6 months to get through this process and try to drive the thing. And David, I'm not sure, but didn't we do it in like a month?
we completed in about a month. Yeah.
And that was from start to finish, having bids into the process and having returns to it. They found it easy. They loved it. I was on meetings where the attorney was pulling up data out of it saying, nope, I can see the pricing difference here and where they're bidding at here. And it was fascinating to watch them. I think the most exciting thing, and even from our vendors that we put into this space, we got positive feedback that they put rooms together, because we did a reverse auction on this. They put rooms together to watch it because it got exciting. They could see the things changing and they wanted to stay in the lead. And we had the same thing on our side.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it looks like an exciting eBay auction there, Greg, as I look through your slide, and very good for the bottom line of Corteva.
Yeah.
Corteva Agriscience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the other one that we really focused on is at our next case study. That's the intellectual property space, and that's another area that a little different perspective of how we took it on. Rate reductions anywhere from 10 to 60%, with probably our highest impact in our Latin American region. From because we've got all the countries that we rolled out into those spaces. We both drove hourly rate reductions as well as looking at fixed fees and which we love fixed fees in the concept, because they drive an ability for us to project very easily what we're going to spend in a space. And then our partnerships with Onit and PERSUIT, it made this all a reality. We got data from our Onit that we could actually see where we need to drive and focus, see how different our rates were between all of our vendors for the same kind of resources. And that just opened up the eyes of everybody of how we can drive savings, and then PERSUIT for giving us the tools to do it.
Terrific. Well, David, if you want to share anything else on this case study, otherwise we'll move into some of the more general discussion points.
The only thing I would just add on, it was great working with the IP team and kind of have a team that was started out being a little bit fearful of how big of a challenge this would be, to kind of saying like we have our auction for India starting at midnight, and I'm just going to stay up and watch it because I'm so excited to watch it. So it was just it's just really cool when you can get people actually excited about the sourcing process and kind of and getting to see those changes in real time. We've gotten really it's been fun to see that, and been great to work with the Corteva team.
And David, I probably didn't bring enough to this. It was like your focus on this. It just in talking like that, it was pretty complicated. I mean, 9 jurisdictions all running different for the regions, running simultaneous bidding processes at times. It was a massive undertaking, and achieving it in such a short period of time was outstanding.
Terrific. Well, we don't hear about excitement in legal ops every day, although some of us have been doing it a while, and we think we're a bit mad, but it's cool to see this take effect.